Hi there, I'm violinist Kendall Grady, and welcome to Kendall's Corner Volume 2, where we're discussing the more subtle and nuanced details of violin and string playing. I hope that these short videos will be helpful and inspiring for you as you explore and discover your own ways of playing your instruments. So when I discuss coordination, what I'm referring to is the coordination between the left and the right hand, and then as well as what happens in one half of the body. So for example, in bow changes, just the right side of the body or the right arm. An easy way to get the left hand to play before the right hand is a little exercise like so. Because the right hand is producing the sound, you want the pitches already set in place. So this is very helpful if you're working on cleaner, faster tempos. So what you want to do is put your left hand fingers down first before you play the sound with your right bow hand. And you can make it quicker and quicker. So that's one simple way of having the left hand play a little quicker than the right hand, which will help in your faster playing. So when I'm talking about bow changes, I think two people come to mind who describe it really well, which is Bela Keys and her systems of springs, and then also Heifetz, who describes a lot of circular motions. And if you wanted to read more about it, Galamian and his art of violin playing describes it as well. But I love the pictures that you can find of Heifetz, of his bow in the air and all of the circular, not angular necessarily, motions that come from his playing. So in my mind, there's basically three small circles that we have to coordinate within our right arm that will help us produce a really nice, smooth, and even bow change. The first one is within our fingers and knuckles. Some people describe this as a collet, but of course I don't want to get it confused with the collet stroke. But it's basically a grabbing, a talon, if you will, which is derived from the French part of the frog of the bow, kind of like talons of birds in the air. The second one is the wrist, which a lot of people tend to be able to do this a little more smoothly than their fingers. And then the final one I would say is the forearm. And the forearm motion does involve the upper arm a little bit, but I tend to avoid trying to describe it with the shoulder yet, because a lot of beginner or young violinists and string players will try to do the bow change with their shoulder alone. And usually this is only done for expressive purposes or very specific techniques. A great player who you can see this demonstrated in is Janine Jansen. So what I'm going to do is play an open string, an open A, and I want you to see if you can see the circles that I am trying to do to create a really nice smooth bow. And I'll try to describe it as we go along. So here my arm is already going up. If you see as I'm going on the up bow, basically the order of operations is that the fingers and the knuckles are kind of elongating and leading it. The wrist is probably doing a little more high motion before it turns to low, and it's the forearm, the elbow, that decides to change the bow. So basically, if we're going up bow, you want the fingers to be leading, and as we go down bow, you want the elbow to be leading. You could try this just in the lower half of the bow. if you want to make something even bigger, even more expressive, what you can start doing is incorporating the shoulder blade in the upper part of the back. And when I think about the shoulder blade, I'm thinking about it coming forward and around towards the violin, not up, because we don't want to add any tension to the trapezoid muscles here. So in that example, I think that the shoulder blade is producing a lot more motion forward, and it manifests in the rest of the arm kind of following suit like a larger wave. But it certainly isn't demanding that the arm come up in a very angular motion and stay there with a lot of tension. So when you are working on your left hand and right hand coordination, and then the coordination that comes within a body part, so for example today in the right arm, I hope that you're thinking about waves of motion and what starts and ends the motion. So when I'm thinking about violin playing and technique and coordinating the left and the right parts of the body, I'm thinking about the motion coming from the left hand and going into the right. And it has to be quicker and quicker and quicker the faster that we're playing. If I'm thinking about bow changes, I'm thinking about a wave, which is often either led from the front with the fingers or from the back with the elbow, upper arm, shoulder blade. I hope that this helps you explore a little bit further the nuances of your own playing and that of your students or peers. And until next time, my name is Kendall Grady. Keep your spirits light and your chops up. Bye-bye for now.